Hello, my name is Andrew Brathwaite. I'm the Director of Transportation Services here at Developmental Disabilities Institute. I've been here for 35 years. And this is my 36th year I'm working on. And if you actually take time to talk to your staff, that's another learning experience. Like I said, I learned from you guys, but saying hello to these people that come by and stop by my office, they've got some brilliant people out there that their outward careers that they have, hairstylists, people into construction, DJs, MCs, singers. There's so many different
we have a
business.
lot of talented people, but it's always, when we started DDI was a family. Okay, the employees were a family. You know, every Thursday, Friday, we're hanging out together. You know, it's one of those jobs where everyone always say, keep your job at your job, but your job becomes your family, because every Friday, Saturday, you're still hanging out with the same people you're gonna work with on Monday. And so most of my friends, they're my brothers. You know, we've been family for over 20-something years, you know, combined over 60 years. You know, if you add every year, we've known each other. And you don't see that with people you work with. You know, we don't consider ourselves associates. He calls, texts me every now and then and said, good morning, I love you, brother. You know, I do the same thing, you know, because it's a brother. Why don't you? We don't, because
That's weird.
Because to him, he said this way. Even though we still tell him we love him, he doesn't understand. It's a brotherly love thing. But this is how the family started. I'm Akin. I'm the Assistant Director of Residential at DDI. I have been with DDI for over 25 years, and I love what I do. You know, I was a manager at Babylon for 10 years, you know, and they tried getting me to move up, and I refused because I was so close to my staff. And apart from the staff, we have birthdays for their kids. I have family day. You know, in the summertime, we have the family barbecues we throw out, you know. So it's always that family network, because I always believe that if your staff are happy, they will be productive, you know. And I realize happiness doesn't have to do with a paycheck. You know, I could pay all my staff $1 million, doesn't mean they will be happy. People will still want more, you know, but when you treat them with kindness and respect, you know what, you can pay for that. That's priceless. And that's why the staff keep coming back. You know, I have staff at Babylon for 20 years, 15 years, 18 years, still working there today. And it's because of that respect we have for each other.
Hello, my name is John Connor. I am the program manager for the Medford IRA. I've been at DDI for 20 years exactly. But my team is awesome. My guys are incredible. My staff would say I'm much too involved. A lot of times when I come in the house, they're like, why are you here? Like today, after this, I'm gonna go to my house and I'm gonna come in there probably like 3 o'clock and they're like, why did you drive here? Because it's 45 minutes from my house to my job. And they're like, why would you come here? We got it. And I appreciate that, but at the same time, it's almost like, why can't I come to work? You know, I feel like they're telling me, you did a good job, we got it. You don't gotta come and check on us. But I can't, I'm addicted to it. I gotta see my guys, I gotta see my house. Like, it's a responsibility that I take very seriously. I didn't hear of it until you said it last week. I've never heard anybody say it. No, black excellence?
Yeah, I have.
I mean, I've heard people say, you know, people have told me my life because of my color, I have to work twice as hard, blah, 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 which I never really felt was necessarily true.
No, that's absolutely true. If you're black, you've got to work 3-4 times harder than your white counterpart. That's absolutely true.
I put the work in. Maybe I was working twice as hard, maybe I wasn't. I just know my work ethic. If that's my work ethic, then that's my work. Like, I never looked at, like, you know, if I do twice as much, I'm gonna get the same. I'm not doing twice as much work to get the same you got.
I'm not saying doing twice as much, but putting your everything or your all into the work that you're doing is giving it your 100%. And once I started at this agency as a substitute driver, that's how I started, where every day I covered a different route. In the morning, I'd cover a route, then I'd take the van home. And when I took that van home, I did it every time. I washed it, I vacuumed the inside, And if I had enough time, I would wax it. I say wax, I didn't do that too often. But when I had enough time, I did. So when the actual driver of that route came back, they were like, who had my van? And it was always my name. I continued to do that, and my name kept coming up. Then I got moved into the office. And when I got moved into the office, I continued to do the same thing. Whatever paperwork, I found a way to simplify it, make it easier for the driver to complete, make it easier for us to recognize, document it in the computer at the time, which the computers back then were a lot different than they are now.
Typewriters.
Black History Month story is interesting to me because, you know, when he told me about this idea, I was like, oh, I'm being included? I'm African. And you know what? Honestly, as a joke, but sometimes I'm serious. I come from a culture where, you know, born black, and we always feel pride. We had the pride, you know. And unfortunately, some people didn't get to see what it is being born into that culture. You know, so the only problem we had was just, you know, when traveling the world and seeing how blacks are treated. I'm fortunate enough to have live in Europe, live in the United States and different countries, and said, I didn't really care too much about color, race, till I'm here. Anytime I'm in Europe, nobody cares, till I come back here, you know. And we also I started learning about there are two types of blacks. There's the acceptable ones and none. So you're more successful if you're lighter skinned black than you're darker skinned black. So, and people it's like that mentality, which is not our fault, never been. When you read the books, the history is what was brainwashed in us, that one set of blacks are better than the other. You know, so black excellence to me is just being yourself. No, but you know what? I don't believe we have to stop talking about it. It's just like when people say, do you see color? And someone said, no, I don't. I say, yes, I do. Because you have to understand the differences before you can. You can't just say, I don't see that it's white and black. No, but you need to acknowledge that and know the differences. And then when they act in a certain way, you can't blame them for it because they don't experience what you experience. And that's when the learning can start.